Hello, welcome to Mindful Moments. My name is Angela. Thank you to Bowie State University's Athletic Department for hosting yoga. For today's practice, I offer you stress relief by way of yoga. And I was thinking about bringing a series of yoga for stress relief practices. And it will be either a 2 to 4 part series over the next couple of months. And I would like to begin today's practice by letting you know that I am diffusing sweet orange in the water aromatherapy diffuser today. And for this practice, I chose sweet orange as the scent because as it relates to stress relief, sweet orange is a nice warm scent. And I thought about with the days becoming shorter and as the temperatures are changing and falls arriving and the colors, oranges and the reds, I thought it would be a nice segue into this season. So again, with the theme of stress relief, the scent, and it's relaxing, it's warming, and it's just an all-around lovely scent. So before we get started, again, I will point out the props that you will need for today, yoga blocks, and of course, again, if you don't have blocks, no problem. You can just grab some vegetable cans, soup cans. So you may want 2 blocks, definitely, if you have those. Blankets, grab a couple of extra blankets because this will be a prop intensive practice. So I would grab at least 2 blankets. If you can get 3, that would be great. Again, a bolster. So if you have a bolster, 1 would be good. And again, no bolster, no problem. Just a minimum of 2 blankets. So you can take a moment to grab those. Take a moment to set up your diffuser if you have one of those, and we will then get started. Okay, so with one of your blankets for our meditation, you just want to fold it again like so and sit on top of the blanket. And as you know, for the meditation, you always have the option of sitting cross-legged, whatever makes you feel most comfortable. Just being mindful that you would like your hips to be slightly above your knees. Settling in, relaxing into this moment, into the here and now. Connecting with your breath. I invite you now to gently and slowly close your eyes if you would like. You can also just bring your eyes to a low gaze if closing your eyes fully isn't what you would like to do at this moment. Knowing also that sitting in a chair, a nice comfortable chair, is an option. You can also always lay on the floor completely if that's most comfortable for you. Just taking this time in this moment for yourself in whatever comfortable position calls out to you. connecting with your breath. Noticing the rise and the fall of your chest as you breathe in and breathe out. Arriving here in this moment, becoming fully present, letting go of the earlier part of your day. You're in the here and the now. Noticing maybe if you are holding any tension in your shoulders. Just breathing any relaxation into those tight shoulders. Breathing relaxation and releasing tension, perhaps in your eyebrows, perhaps in your jaw. Notice if maybe there's tightness around your lips. Just relaxing in the moment. In keeping with the practice of stress relief for the series, I would like to offer a theme for you of letting go. And if you would like to set an intention for yourself surrounding that theme, I invite you to set that intention at this time. If there is anything from today or perhaps you may be experiencing at this time that may be causing you a little extra stress or challenge, I invite you to just set an intention to release that and let it go. And over the next few breaths, as you inhale, bring that thought to mind, and as you exhale, just release whatever that thing is and know that you can actually let it go and release it. One more inhale and exhale. Slowly open your eyes if your eyes are closed, and just bring your eyes slowly open, bringing the light of your room in and bringing the awareness back to your space. Just taking a moment to feel your space. Noticing what it's like to hold that intention in your mind and in your heart, and knowing that it will be let go. And if you are sitting on a blanket, You can move that out of the way now. So all of your props are off to the side. And you'll keep your legs crossed into a comfortable seated position. Bring your fingertips to touch. Nice tall spine. And on your inhale, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth, reach over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, stretch. Reach over as far as you can. Inhale, center. Exhale. So one breath, one movement as a union, connecting the breath with the movement at your own pace. The idea is to feel the stretch. Inhale, center. Exhale, reach. Inhale, center. One more on each side. Come back now to center. And just take a moment here to relax. Mindful that the shoulders aren't hunched up toward the ears. This time, bring your forearm to the mat, the right forearm to the mat. Inhale the left arm up over and reach as far as you can. Turn the gaze toward the ceiling. Another variation is just to bring the fingertips straight out into like a V shape. And if this is too much on the neck, you can feel free to leave the gaze facing forward. So there's a few variations here. Forearm to the mat, the gaze is forward or to the ceiling. There should be a stretch across the left side body. Also be mindful that the hips are securely planted on the mat. If you find that the hips or the knees are rising up, then slowly back out of the stretch. Just a few more breaths here. You're doing very well. Inhale, raise up to center. Take a moment to settle in. Exhale to the opposite side. Inhale, raise the right arm up. Gaze toward the ceiling. And if you try the variation on the other side, do the same here. Or if you didn't, you can try it here. See how it feels in your body. Just play around with these variations. This is your practice. See how it feels in your body. Just a few more breaths here. Inhale, rise up to center. Few moments to settle in. Fingertips still to the mat or palms flat to the mat. We're going to now begin neck rolls. So you can turn to the right, and on the exhale, chin down toward the chest. Nice, gentle, slow stretch, and you should feel this toward the base of the skull. And on the inhale, toward the top, down and around. This is a very slow, gentle movement to feel the stretch at the top of the spine and the base of the neck. Very gentle, very slow, deliberate movements. Inhale as you come up. Exhale down. Also being mindful that you aren't bringing your head back and pinching your neck, but you're just going around. Another thing in a stress relief practice is the movements are a little bit slower and more deliberate, and we hold the postures a little longer. So it's less of a flow as we move through the postures, and that's just to allow the muscles time to actually relax and release on their own. Exhale as you bring the chin to the chest. Inhale on your way up through center. Okay, and now to the opposite direction. Bring your chin to the left side, down on the exhale. And inhale. As you bring your chin up toward the sky. And sometimes on the neck rolls, you may find that your shoulders want to rise up towards your ears. And that's sometimes because the neck and the shoulders, because those muscles, the traps and all those muscles there, the neck muscles, they're all working together. But just be mindful when to keep those shoulders down and relax. Just trying to keep them uninvolved as possible. Okay, make this your final rotation and back to center. So with that, we'll do a few shoulder shrugs. Inhale the arms up to your ears and exhale down. Inhale the shoulders up. Exhale, release. Just a few more like that. Inhale up towards your ears. Roll them back. Up and back. The idea is to see if you can get the shoulder blades to touch in the back. Just a simulation of that. Really stretch out the shoulders, widen the chest. Inhale as you bring the shoulders up and exhale as you roll them down. One more inhale up and exhale down. Very nice. Just a few moments there. Okay, let's bring our legs out in front of us. Inhale the arms straight out in front of us. Cross the right arm over the left. Bring our arms around as if we're giving ourselves a hug. And squeeze, bringing our shoulders forward toward us as if we're pulling our shoulder blades apart. Inhaling and exhaling. Feeling the stretch across our back, across the shoulder blades. One more breath here. And release. Very nice. Inhale the arms up. Now switch. Left over right. And another self hug. Pulling the shoulder blades apart again. And a few breaths. Very good. Okay, so while we're here, our first pose is the staff pose. And if you like, you can go ahead and grab a few blankets. So with this pose, what you want to do is just have your legs straight in front of you. And what you want to do is hinge at the hips. Exhale and forward fold. And just kind of hang out here as far down as you can. You can place your hands on the floor, your thighs, your ankles, your shins. And for this pose, we're not wanting to reach for our toes. We don't want to pull hard. We don't want to stretch. We just want to hang out here and relax and let the muscles release. So this is why you can bring your blankets here to help support the total relaxation here. If you want to pile them up even more, that's perfectly fine. This tends to be a good stretch for releasing tight hamstrings. And it can be a bit intense, So we won't hold it very long. And also remember to use your breath. If you feel any discomfort, breathe into that discomfort. Inhale through the nose, and as you exhale through the nose, just send that healing breath, that cleansing breath, send it to those tight muscles. Just allow them to release. Very nice. 3 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. And on this last exhale, use your hands to push you up. It's a nice tall spine. If you have any props on your laps, just move those over to the side and bring your feet in front of you and just hug your legs in like this. And what we're going to do now is the shoelace pose. So the idea is to have the knees meet each other. Just like a crisscross. And that's it. A variation here is to forward fold. You can also bring a blanket here. Some people like to bring a blanket here. Also, another variation is to bring a blanket in between in case it's a bit much between the legs. So, again, relax into that pose. So this is helping to release the hip joints and help to open the hips. Again, the forward fold in this position is just another variation. Feel free to stay here. Shoelace. There's a couple more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale slowly. You can lean over to the side and unravel the legs. Bring the legs out toward the front and just kind of shake your legs out. And with yoga, as you know, it's all about balance. So what you do on one side, you have to do on the other. So now, since we have the left leg on top, you need to shoelace and bring the right leg. And you may notice that one side is easier than the other, and that's just with anything. So at your own pace, just find your way into shoelace with the right leg on top. And also, again, the same variation with the blankets, either on top or in between the knees. You can also do a forward fold here, just gently leaning over for a different sensation, another variation of the pose to help open the hips more, offer more space into the joints. Breathing into any sensation that you feel. And once again, being mindful and understanding that there is a difference between a sensation of discomfort and pain. If there's any pain, always stop. But if there's a sensation, you can work through that with your breath. That's just releasing and just, opening and letting the muscles release and just using muscles that you may not be used to using. But always listen to your body and always allow this practice to be yours to enjoy and to learn and grow. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose, and send your cleansing breath to those areas for total relaxation and stress relief. Very nice. Take 2 more full breaths. And on your final exhale, slowly and gently unravel. Bring your legs out front and shake your legs out. Okay. And while your legs are in front, feel free to just take a few moments to point and flex your feet. We will take your bolster now and your 2 blocks. We'll bring it to the right side. So actually, before we do that, I'll show you how to set up your blocks. So we'll take the tall height and the short height. And place the bolster. Place the bolster like so. And you want to make sure that you have the stability here. Placing the blocks. So We are setting up now for deer pose. So bring your right hip up to the base of the bolster in a zigzag motion. So your legs are shaped like a Z. Right hip up to the bolster. Inhale the arms up. Palms to touch. Pointer finger. Slight back bend. Twist toward the bolster. Hands, palms to the mat. Lay flat on the bolster. And relax. Feel free to close your eyes here or bring them to a low gaze. If you would like to feel a different sensation, you can turn the opposite cheek, and that will just intensify the stretch a tad more. So again, we are moving slowly and mindfully in this particular practice, and we are holding these postures just slightly longer and less flowy because we are inviting our bodies to relax and release, and just wanting our muscles to relax on their own in their time. So just take a few more cleansing breaths here, feeling supported by your props, allowing gravity to take over the body, pulling them down onto your props. Enjoying this moment. Inhale, and on this exhale, use your hands to push you up off of the props. You can move your blocks over to the left side to set up. Again, all about balance. So, bringing your left hip up against, flush up against the side of the bolster or your cushions or your pillows, whatever your chosen props are. Inhale the arms up, palms to touch, point the fingers, slight back bend, twist to the left, and fold down onto your props. Once again, if you chose to turn the opposite cheek, try that on this side as well. Or if you didn't do that on the other side, perhaps maybe you would like to see what that deeper stretch feels like here. And just 2 more breaths here. And exhale, push yourself up towards center. You can move your blocks out of the way. This will be our final posture before we get ready for our Shavasana. And I will show you a blanket fold for this just in case you would like to use it. And this is a noodle. So you just take your blanket and just kind of roll it, shaped like a noodle. Just put that off to the side really quickly. So you can take your bolster or your pillow flat like this. And so what we will do is child's pose, but for this practice, it will be supported. So we will take our traditional child's pose, where we bring our big toes to touch and our knees wide as the mat. At this time, we will come up toward the bolster and have it just in between our thighs. And come down and use the bolster for support. And relax here. You're not laying on the bolster, or I should say, you're not up on the bolster like this. That's actually a different pose. And where the noodle comes into play is a little got unraveled a little. But some students like to place the noodle under their feet for a little bit more support between their thumb and heels. So they feel extra supported there. So your arms can be stretched out fully, like in the traditional child's pose, or along the side with the palms facing up, or forearms close to you. So a few variations there. And throughout this posture, you can play with whichever side or whichever cheek you would like. Take a few more breaths here. And on your next exhale, gently push yourself back with your hands off of the prop. And if you do have a blanket under your hips, just remember to remove that and move it over to the side in the event that you want to use it in a few moments during Shavasana. And find your way onto your back now. With your feet planted flat on the floor. Lift your left leg, place it on the right thigh, like a figure four. Inhale the leg up. Weave your hands through and pull your thigh towards your chest. And hold it for a few breaths. This is called modified pigeon. Your feet are flexed. Just hold it here for a few more breaths. This is to help stretch out the hips, as we did quite a few hip openers during this practice. It's more often known that stress manifests in like the neck and shoulders, but it is also held in the hip area. So I wanted to do some postures that helps open our hips. Do some releasing there as well. One more breath in and exhale, lower. Plant both feet down. And now switch sides. Inhale. Left leg up. And flex both feet. Inhale and hold it. Let's hold the leg up for a few more breaths. And on your next exhale, release both feet down. And inhale both legs in and hug them in. Exhale the left leg out. Exhale the right leg out as you bring the left leg in. Exhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Exhale, switch. And at your own pace, do that about 5 more times. And on the last time, bring both knees in again. Hug them in, hold it there. Point and flex your feet a few times and roll the ankles. Also roll a little bit on your spine, just massaging your spine. Giving your back a nice little massage. Plant your feet down to the mat. And in the keeping with the practice of releasing and supported postures, I invite you to always, of course, have your bolster under your knees or your ankles for your Safasana. So let's get ready for Shavasana. Grab your blankets, of course, if you like, and relax. Lay back. Let your feet flop out however they may. Palms face forward toward the ceiling. Gently close your eyes. Begin to connect with your breath. Take a moment to notice your space. Notice how you feel in this moment. Perhaps notice if there's any difference in how you feel now as opposed to when you started the practice. Maybe check in with your intention that you set at the beginning of the practice today. that you can always come back to yoga. You can always come back to your breath. You can always come back to mindfulness as a form of stress relief. Over the next few breaths, find your way to one side or the other, rolling off of any props if you are using them. Just finding your way into maybe a fetal position or just onto your side, and slowly using your hand to gently push yourself up to a nice comfortable seated position. Or if you have the opportunity to just remain in Shavasana for a little bit longer, I invite you to do that as well. Please do so. If you are in a seated position now, or even if you are still laying down, that's fine as well. Slowly and gently open your eyes now, bringing the light and your awareness back into your space. I invite you to bring your hands to heart center. Thank you for practicing with me today. I truly hope this was helpful. I look forward to seeing you the next time. Namaste.